Welcome back to Hilaal Live. Now, university students marched to Parliament in Cape Town yesterday to protest against NSFAS. Students from the three universities in Cape Town are demanding that allowances for tuition, meals and accommodation be allocated to the institutions they registered at and not be dispersed by private financial providers. Joining us now to talk about this and whether Wits will be embarking on a similar protest is the University of Witwatersrand's SRC's acting president, Kamogelo Mabe. Kamogelo, good evening and thank you so much for joining us here on Hilaal Live.
Good evening and good evening to the viewers at home, and thanks for having me.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Okay, Kamogelo, first question, of course. I'm not so sure whether a decision had been made earlier, but will Wits University be embarking on something similar like this following what had happened, of course, with the three universities in the Western Cape?
So with regards to the Wits SRC, so the Wits SRC is also not distanced from, or rather isolated from, the existing issues of NSFAS. And we do echo the same sentiments as well as other institutions that this has to be taken back to the institutions, because this is a system that has been working with the for years now. We know that for years, when there's issues with regards to allowances being distributed, we'd always contact management and issues would be resolved timelessly. At the current moment, it's been 2 months that some students don't have allowances, and many institutions have been agitated by this and taken it to the streets. So as the Wits SRC, we've rather than, on the other hand, taken a careful approach in terms of how we're looking at things, because most recently we've been faced by mid-year exclusions. And now being faced by mid-year exclusions means that any action that we take that will, halt the academic year, these are consequences that we are yet to face in the upcoming year when, exclusions then come our way. So in terms of the NSFAS as well, we had then thought that, look, if we're going to take it to the streets right now, we would be putting a halt to the academic year, which means that we actually affecting some academic, the academic progression for some students as well. So therefore, then we had most recently then taken a different approach as a Wits SRC to say, look, why not actually frustrate the administration of NSFAS itself? I'm not sure if you had seen the latest communication that we released yesterday, which was releasing the emails of the people that are actually the decision makers. Some of the financial people, the people who are handling the financial administration of NSFAS, we said, look, Wits University students, flood their emails so that they can be able to take you serious. And they have actually responded to us now to say that meet us and meet the university so that we can hear what is it that we actually want.
Kamogelo, NSFAS there's been a lot of controversy with regards to the institution. Of course, its CEO, there are calls for him to be placed on leave for allegations of corruption against him. Do you honestly feel that NSFAS will come to the party because it's an organization internally itself that is really struggling at the moment with regards to so much that is going on?
Well, I think it would be ignorant for NSFAS not to come to the party. While, like we're saying, that we are going to flood their emails, and we're still continuing to encourage students to flood their emails. Because if you don't want to take our calls, then let's actually disturb the way that you work until you actually realize the importance of your work, right? So, they will come to the party. That we definitely know. Like today, they had initiated a meeting with us to, try to question us as to who is it that released their emails. And therefore, then that's how the meeting came about, to say that they want to meet us and the university so that we can get to the bottom of this. And we were still met with some ignorance, because then they said that they're going to take action against the people who released their emails publicly. So I don't understand why is it that you would say to student representatives that you would take action against them. And at this point, our stance is that if you want to take action against us, we are still not on our knees. Tell the university that during this year that we are not on our knees. We're telling NSFAS as well that as student leaders, we are not on our knees. If you want to take action for us standing for our students, then let that be the case, because we can actually still throw in the same weight that you want to throw in.
Kamogelo, from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, because maybe you would know better with NSFAS, they haven't actually mentioned that they are having financial problems at the moment. Now, this, of course, is something that could be a possibility. If they come back to you and they sit down with, of course, many students within Wits and say, financially, there seems to be a challenge with the distribution of money, or maybe worst case scenario, they may not have anything. What then next? What then next will the Wits SRC do to try and at least get funding for these students?
Well, at the current moment, let me first answer the what would the Wits SRC do. At the current moment, the SRC is actually working with CSOs, we're working with school councils, we're working with external donors. As of July, we had been working with the university to distribute food parcels to students who are actually affected through the appeal system, through being defunded, and also having not received allowances. So we've been distributing food parcels, and we are actually broadening and trying to expand this initiative to work with companies that provide toiletries, food parcels as well for students, so that they can be able to at least survive whilst we actually dealing with this matter at hand with the NSFAS. However, like you mentioned, that NSFAS would not publicly declare that they're having financial issues. I mean, I don't even think it's a matter of declaring. Let's look at just the how NSFAS has operated over the past years. It moves from defunding some programs, and then it moves towards also cutting your like there's caps in terms of NSFAS that are sudden. Then obviously it also comes back to also then you moving to these systems of bringing in private what can I say, people that are going to distribute allowances to students. However, what is evident is that there is a clear act of corruption, because how is it that there is these people who are going to distribute allowances, where you want to take away a system that has been working efficiently within universities, and I would like to believe that it has been working ethically so, and you want to give it to the hands of people who actually want to charge exorbitant fees to students who are already in need of financial assistance, but you're still taking away that money so that you can enrich your own pockets. So this is just an act of greed, it's an act of selfishness, and we're still talking about capitalists who still want to get richer while the poor get poorer.
Katlego, if there's no meeting of halfway with NSFAS, I mean, you sit down, you speak with them, and there just is no way to resolve the situation. I mean, is there a chance that you may have to take this to a higher power, that being, of course, the Department of Higher Education and Science, because a lot of this would have to rest on, of course, the shoulders of Dr. Blade Nzimande.
I mean, Dr. Blade, I don't think we can take away the existing problem or the existing decision maker in this whole thing. Because if you look at Dr. Blade Nzimande, how many things have actually regressed in his watch? So for the removal of Blade Nzimande, because he is just a person who is masquerading as a communist, but he is not capitalist. So he is just part of the problem, but we do hope that the government can be able to self-assist in its own without having us as students to push them towards the wall. I think this is a matter of logic, and it's a matter of securing the dignity of a Black child and any child who is deserving of NSFAS.
Kamogelo, we'd like to thank you so much for joining us here on Hilaal Live.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's Kamogelo Mabe. He is the acting president of the Wits SRC. Yeah, we need to see what happens with regards to, will NSFAS meet this university, for example, Wits halfway, and if there can be some sort of resolution, hopefully, that can transcend into the other universities within the Western Cape, because I think it would only benefit the students if they return back to the classroom, but that can only happen if their demands are met. And those demands, of course, as promised by NSFAS in terms of the providing of meals and accommodation, can also be met there. After the break, I'll have your latest in news. Do stay tuned to Hilaal Live.